Coming up on MCTV this week, one of our reporters takes us through the connection of Shakespeare and a beloved American president. And as the semester draws to a close, student stress increases. This week starts now. Hello and welcome to MCTV This Week. For Bronwyn File, I'm Cameron Lyon. Two-time winner of the National Lincoln Prize, Dr. Douglas Wilson of Knox College visited campus last week. Anton Benedictov tells us why Wilson thinks that we can learn a lot about Lincoln through the works of William Shakespeare.
Abraham Lincoln was the first Republican president, but he was a good president in spite of this.
After a few quotes on Lincoln from essays of schoolboys and girls, Wilson explained the influence that Shakespeare language had on speeches of Abraham Lincoln. In his opinion, Lincoln rhetorics made him one of the major American writers. Lincoln preferred to read Shakespeare rather than see live performances. The president did not like the cuts of monologues in theater versions of plays. Nevertheless, some of these versions are still running nowadays. The cast of the upcoming Twelfth Night theater production was there as a part of the rehearsal process. Dear Rashid, who plays one of the roles, thinks that it was a useful experience for the actors.
I realize that actors do rush through a lot of the lines, and we don't need to focus on just portraying the emotion that's going on in the plays, but we also need to give them the backstory, what's going on in Shakespeare, because that's what people really love. Play up the language, make sure they can hear us.
Dr. Wilson told that he started his research to correct mistakes in Lincoln's legend. He thinks that Lincoln's passion for Shakespeare made him a man of his time.
There's been this revolution in literacy in the world, and people like himself who, up until that time, never got a chance to become professionals or, to become literate, to become freestanding, well-off, and so forth. And literacy is all involved in this, and along with literacy comes the fact that people read, and reading has consequences.
This was the last of 3 events on Lincoln and Shakespeare hosted on campus this March. Students have already watched Spielberg's movie Lincoln and Oscar-winning Shakespeare in Love. For MCTV, I'm Anton Benedictov.
This event was co-sponsored by the English, Theater, and History Honor Societies.
As the number of class days decreases, senior stress increases. MCTV's Leslie Legg has more.
With the end of the semester quickly approaching, Monmouth students are hitting the books, but that's not the only thing on some students' minds. For many graduating seniors, it's time to start job searching.
I probably started job searching back in winter break, and I used a couple of search engines such as Indeed and College Monster.
Even with various job searching resources, finding that first job out of college becomes a stressful event.
I know seniors are very stressed, and if they weren't stressed, I would wonder what was wrong. It's very normal to feel stressed this time of year, and as graduation approaches, every senior wonders, what am I going to be doing?
It's like taking another class. Job searching is a huge monster. It's you're not only filling out applications, you have to update your resume. Cover letters are made for each different position that you're applying for. A lot of the times you want to get to know the company, so there's a lot of research involved.
With so many applicants and not meeting requirements, not hearing back from a company becomes a normal part of job searching.
I've only heard back from one position, but I didn't get very far into my telephone interview because the position was looking for a candidate that would have started in March.
Although applying for various jobs with little luck gets discouraging, there are several things job seekers can do to help them in the process.
I will give you some hints, though, that seniors can start doing right now. And one is to network. Networking is an overused word, but it's an underutilized resource. And by networking, I mean contact your friends, contact your parents' friends, contact your friends' parents, everyone. Get your name out. Tell everyone you're looking for a job.
While leaving college without a job secured seems scary, seniors are encouraged not to give up on looking for that job just yet.
There's no way that I could possibly obtain any job if I just stop right here. I'll go to bed, stress out over it, cry to my dad on the phone, and the next day I wake up and I just start over again.
Another piece of advice for job seekers is to use social media, especially LinkedIn, to see what's out there. For MCTV, I'm Leslie Legg.
If you need help figuring out your plans for after college, contact the Wackerly Career and Leadership Center.
Taking a look at some events on campus this week. Tonight, the English department invites you to a reading by renowned visiting author David McGlynn. That will be tonight at 7 p.m. in the Morgan Room of Poling Hall. Thursday at 11 a.m. is the Whiteman Memorial Lecture in the Dahl Chapel, where former Disney VP for television Mary Kellogg Joslin will be talking about her life and career. And Thursday at 7 p.m. will be the annual Samuel Thompson Lecture, when Dr. Aziza Al-Hebri will talk about philosophy, democracy, and Muslim women's rights.
Coming up in sports, men's tennis play their final home match of the 2014 season. We'll have the highlights next. Monmouth College's men's tennis team leaves big shoes to fill after playing their last home game of the season against Illinois Wesleyan University. Despite the cold temperatures, the Fighting Scots took immediate control over the Titans. In doubles, the Scots played aggressively, knowing that it was the four seniors' last home match of their Monmouth careers. The Scots swept the doubles, giving a lead of 3-0 into the singles round. The Scots kept momentum going during singles. Monmouth battled the elements, and all 6 varsity players won their matches in 2 sets.
Our seniors have worked so hard this season, in all 4 years. They're probably going to go down as the most successful group of seniors that we've had graduate from Monmouth, and their leadership and ability was going to be really hard to replace over the next few years.
The men's team will travel to Whitewater, Wisconsin on Saturday as they take on Carroll University and the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. The Fighting Scots softball team is back in action as they played in their first home match of the season, and they struggled to get back into the swing of things, battling against the cold and the wind. The Scots started junior Skylar Johnson on the mound, who started off well but got into some pickles along the way. Illinois Wesleyan played small ball to load the bases, and all it took was 2 hits from Wesleyan's Hannah Bowen and Jenna Nolan to start the hit parade for the Titans, and they never looked back. The Fighting Scots only had 2 hits on the day, one by sophomore Emily Watkins, who also made great defensive plays throughout the game. The Scots fell to the Titans 9-0.
Hopefully we can just learn from our mistakes and pick it up and not let, one turn into another, and we can just come out and win this next game.
The Scots will host the Cornell Rams on Saturday, and then they'll travel to Decatur to take on Millikan University on Sunday. We'd also like to congratulate head coach of the baseball team, Roger Sander, as he became Monmouth's winningest baseball coach as the Scots beat Beloit 2-0 on Saturday. That win was Sanders' 344th, surpassing legendary coach Terry Glasgow. That's it for sports. Here are your scores for this week. That's it for MCTV this week. I'm David Beidel.
And I'm Bronwyn File. Be sure to tune in 2 weeks for a new edition of MCTV.
And I'm Cameron Line. Remember, you can find us online at monmouthcollege.edu/MCTV. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.